Agreements are the currency of collaboration. Without agreement building to solidify alignment and gain traction, your team discussion is not moving forward collaboratively, and there's no real convergence toward a solution. On your Leader Alignment Jam team, there are two ways we want you to think about agreements. One is when you are the one trying to build an agreement with the rest of your team. In this case, use the 3 steps for building agreement. First, make a proposal. Be sure the proposal is clear as opposed to throwing out several ideas at once. It's okay to provide context, give an example, or talk about implications, but be clear about what exactly you're proposing. For instance, team, I propose our head bowling pin should be the government sector, specifically in China, and here's why. Second, check for understanding. In other words, invite responses. Ask the team for any clarification they may need, or for more substantial proposals or challenges and issues they see in implementation or socialization. You may be surprised how much this clarification process deepens or refines your proposal, while it helps build buy-in or raises previously unanticipated implications. Third, check for agreement. A good way to do this is by a process we call negative polling. You might be tempted to ask, does everyone agree? But that's a question that's very difficult for any one person to answer. No one in the room knows whether everyone else agrees with the proposal. Instead, ask the question to the team in the negative, such as, does anyone disagree? Or in another form of that question, such as, would anyone have an issue with our moving forward with this plan? Or, would anyone be unwilling to support this? These negative examples would help surface a clear disagreement if it exists, and are also questions that each individual is able to answer. Also, psychologically, negative polling provides the group with a way to answer with the word yes when it is disagreeing, which makes it subtly easier to voice disagreement without seeming too negative, and have the disagreement dealt with so the group can eventually move to a smaller or amended agreement. Think of agreement building as planting national flags or goalposts. National flags are the larger agreements you may need to build as a team. These larger agreements can be process agreements, such as what is our timeline and what are our roles, or content agreements, such as who should be our first customer. We don't get to big agreements right away, though. These national flag agreements are often the result of smaller, faster mini agreements which we can think of as goalposts. A goalpost may sound like this. Assuming all our assumptions are true, my proposal is to think of these 2 customer segments as the 2 options we need to vet before we can agree on a final customer segment. Would anyone disagree? Think of goalposts as movable, changeable, something the team needs to use as a placeholder while it gets to more information. National flags have more permanence, so to speak. As you can see, the smaller agreement is a way to build up to the larger agreement. In addition, each goalpost or small agreement represents a place the team can fall back to. If the next small agreement the team tries to build doesn't work, the team still has the last agreements they built. The inability to build any one small agreement doesn't jeopardize the team's progress. In contrast, teams that fail to converge often never distinguish between a goalpost, a small, quick, or movable agreement, and a national flag, a substantial agreement that sticks. They either never plant flags or goalposts or treat everything like a national flag and spend a lot of time trying to build a premature make-or-break large agreement that the team may be unprepared for and therefore never agree to. A second approach to agreement building is the team agreement building model. This model is great for thinking about how you listen to proposals as a team member or as a facilitator of a team. When someone on your Alignment Jam team makes a proposal, it's easy to advocate in return right away, such as by saying why you agree or disagree. The team agreement building model suggests that transformational teamwork means listening to what a team member proposes and then bracketing or tabling your immediate response, and instead inquiring to be sure you understand both the implication and assumptions behind the proposal. Next, see if there's a way to reconcile the proposal with some previous agreement made by the team, or with a trend in the team's current thinking. We call this bridging. Bridging is a key skill in transformational teams and for creating high-level, cross-functional strategic alignment on boards and councils. Simply put, bridging entails seeing how the proposal matches something in the team's current thinking. In this sense, bridging helps establish whether the idea is a logical extension of an earlier agreement. Next, see if there is an alternate proposal emerging that can be used to build an agreement. Teams may cycle through any of these agreement-building processes several times to get to a final agreement. On real teams, this is an iterative effort and requires discipline and a common collaborative attitude and approach.